All right, something cool here is with Grip from Kissing Candice. How you doing, man?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. I just got done watching that new video of raising her. It was fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah, that was something else. We really decided to push some limits there.
It was definitely some old school shit, man. It reminded me of like old Marilyn Manson type stuff, like from back in the day.
Yeah,
Anything cool like
yeah.
that?
We definitely took some inspiration from Nine Inch Nails, Marilyn Manson's like old stuff there.
How'd you guys come up with the concept?
The concept for the video or the song?
Well, let's go with the video first, and we'll talk about the song after. I'm,
Okay,
I'm still like caught up, dude. I mean, like for people who haven't seen it yet, go fucking watch this right now. It's definitely going to be in your brain, you know?
definitely sticks with you. The video was mostly our director Tom Flynn, who we've used for our past couple videos. We hit him up with some ideas of what we wanted. He was all about it. So him and Joey like fleshed out a set and some concepts. I know Joey spent a lot of time doing research for it, down to the depths of the internet. And then from there, we kind of just rolled with it and shot it. Got some people who were down for it and went with it.
Now, is it hard to shoot a video like that during COVID?
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, we were all wearing masks when not filming. Anyone who wasn't in scenes had a mask on. Director had a mask on. But yeah, we of course we wanted COVID to stop so we can go back on tour. So of course, we played as safe as possible and by all the regulations.
Now, like I said, man, the video was fucking. It's outrageous. The shit that you see. I mean, it burns in your brain for sure. I mean, I thought you guys had something with tapeworm there, but this top.
Yeah, tapeworm was another one where we kind of just went nuts. The guy who's eating the worms is actually a photographer. We call him Nature Boy.
Right.
And we were thinking about like, well, if we had so many worms, like who would do that though? It's like, oh, Andrew would. So we hit him up, and he was like, yeah, I'm down. And he even got the worms. And surprisingly, no worms were killed. They all live in his garden now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he spit them all out. Didn't eat a single one of them. And put them all in the box and took them home with him. And now they live nice in his garden.
Good thing you didn't catch a taste for those worms. You know, you always see them.
Yeah. He said he picked them up from a bait shop actually. So they had like all like the fish attracting stuff on. So he definitely got really sick. Like I was driving him home and he was like green.
Oh, I could imagine, man. I mean, I fucking was sick just watching it. I couldn't even, you get the then get the idea in your head what I actually feel. You know what I mean? Fucking gummy flips me out. I couldn't even imagine a real one.
Oh, dude, they were real, alive, and disgusting. I refused to touch them.
Now, how hard is it for you guys to keep on putting music out during this COVID without having a tour, being able to back it, without even knowing when you actually put out the album? You know what I mean?
It's hard, man, because we finished this album in last February. It was done, and it's been over a year now since the album's been done. But we got home from the studio in Vegas, and we get home, and 2 weeks later, everything's just locked down. All the bands we knew who were on tour at the time cut their tours short, headed home, and we're like, shit. So are we gonna be able to release the album in June still? And as an independent band, we don't really have the access that a lot of these bands on big labels have. So we can't even, like, it would have been impossible for us to even get it out.
Right.
But as times rolled on, we see we have to put the album out now. We can't just sit on an album for a year and do nothing with the songs. So it just hit a point where like we gotta start putting it out. Like when everything shut down, all of us are working full-time jobs, and we all still have. So we're just been saving up money and getting ready to put this out as soon as we can. Even without touring, we still gotta do it. So, and bands are starting to do it more and more. Like at the beginning of this, like no bands are coming out with any new albums, but now you're starting to see a couple of them like trickle on out.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, you can't just sit on that forever. I mean, plus, I'm assuming with this being done for a year, you guys had to have fucked around with a couple new songs since then.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, there's new ideas flowing in already. And we're like, we gotta get this out. Like it shows the new evolution of the band, new mask. It sucks we can't tour and show all of it off, but we're trying to adjust to being more of like an internet band at the moment. as most bands are, because there's nothing else to do.
Right.
But slowly places are starting to open up for shows, but I personally don't think that's the best idea right now. We're not going to be doing any Texas, Mississippi tours. You know?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't know how. I don't know. I wouldn't want to chance it. I wouldn't want to be the first fucking dude out there experimenting, and
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to be I don't want to be on the first tour.
for sure. I've talked to a few bands that have played Texas during this time, and it's like I can't see it being worth it to go out there and do a state tour, come home and have to quarantine
Yeah,
a couple of weeks because you don't know what.
exactly. Yeah, I work in medical too, so it's like I would. Hey, I know this is real.
Right.
Yeah, like I can't come home and quarantine for 2 weeks after doing like a week-long tour right now.
Oh, definitely not. I mean, I'm in New York, man, and they say
Yeah, come on.
I don't know I think it's next month. They say that we can do.
Yeah, April 1st, we're getting venues at 30% capacity. But most venues already come out and said they're like it's not even worth opening up for because the overhead to keep the venue running, like it's just not gonna make the money. It's gonna lose them more money with hiring people for like the COVID cleanup crews and stuff.
Right.
At 30% capacity, they're not gonna make enough money to cover all that. So they're just gonna a lot of them are still just gonna stay closed.
I was talking to a couple of the local venue owners around here, and about that 30%, I didn't know. I thought that was the amount of people that could come in. That includes the fucking band, the bartender,
Wow.
security, whatever. You know what I mean? So
I did not know. Yeah. So unless you have like a 5,000 capacity venue, you're basically screwed still.
yeah, for sure. I mean, plus that, I mean, I don't know, man. I can't see being myself one of the first few people to go out there and rush to a show as much as I want to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know about a fucking COVID friendly show right now until
Yeah. I don't think it's really exists. I mean, the vaccines are rolling out. I personally was vaccinated in the first group because of my job.
mhm.
And like, but still, like, they're rolling out slowly. They're saying by like May everyone's gonna be vaccinated or whatever, but that still seems like a stretch to me.
Oh yeah. I mean that, there's too many assholes out there that's not taking the precautions needed to get this over with, unfortunately.
No, definitely not.
Now, as you go on, I mean, what do you keep in the back of your mind as a musician to keep you like motivated and moving during all this?
Just honestly, the new album's enough to keep us going. The fact that we have it recorded and we obviously, like every band says, think it's our best album yet, but this one, we're pretty sure definitely is. It's got such a different sound in areas, and sometimes it has sound that we used to have, but it's more refined. And we're just so excited. We're so excited to put it out. Like the thought of not putting it out as soon as possible just keeps us going. We just want it out.
Now, how do you work that out right now? I mean, is it just going to be singles popping through until a big release date, or a big push, or what's
right now? We've done 2 singles. About the last one was October 31st, and this one was like a week and a half ago.
Right.
So we had like 3 months in between, but we just did that because we needed time to film a new music video and stuff. The second we put out Tapeworm, we're already getting ready to film a new music video. We had it all lined up of what song we're gonna do. And right now we're already thinking what song is gonna be next. And I personally have to imagine that with this next song, there will be some sort of release information for the full album. Because I think we're getting to a point where, like, we had done a GoFundMe for the album that covered a portion of the cost. Since as an independent band, we had to pay for everything on our own, but our fans hopped in and paid a nice chunk for us, which helped out a lot. But we promised them like all these awesome things, like limited editions of the album, limited shirts and stuff, and we haven't been able to get it out to them yet. It's been a year, and people are starting to be like, "Whatever happened to an album that I paid $10 for a year ago?"
Right.
So it's like we got to get it out before people are like, "Oh, it's the Flake Band,"
Now, do you guys?
Man, that stole my money. We don't want that.
Do you guys actually have that shit ready yet? Do you guys have your CDs and albums and everything printed out, or no?
No, not yet. It's been so hard because all these like plants have been running at low staff. Like we decided to do a 5-year anniversary pressing of our first full-length album
Right.
on vinyl, and it's been taking so long because the plants are all running at like minimum capacity. It's so difficult, and everything's so backlogged right now. It's
Yeah, man.
crazy.
I hear they don't have the plastic and shit to make any of this stuff.
Yep, exactly. There's like, it's like it all starts from the bottom and goes up. It's like, well, the bottom doesn't have like the necessary workforce, and the people up a little bit above them don't have it either. And then it's just a big chain of people who don't have the resources to be producing like albums or CDs right now. It's getting better, but it's still hard, especially as an independent band. You know, we don't have the connections that like a band on Roadrunner would have, where Roadrunner hits up the plant that they always work with and just get everything done. And we also don't have that kind of money, you know.
Well, you know, it's crazy. I mean, it's hitting everybody. I mean, I just did an interview with Mark Farner from Grand Funk Railroad, and he had this big live DVD all planned out. He's had to push it back 3 different times because he
Yeah,
can't get the plastic to make the shit.
yeah, insane. Like I know, just
Now,
not today, and it was supposed to come out like over a year ago.
one thing I want to talk to you about is different concepts for you guys. Like I said, I love the video. I mean, you guys ever think about doing like a movie or anything cool like that?
Yeah, definitely. It's always been on our minds. Like we almost had a comic ready to go, but unfortunately, I think it was just the wrong time. Like the artist had art ready. It was almost done too, but they did a Kickstarter for it,
Right.
and it was like around Christmas time. And I just don't think people between the pandemic and Christmas had money to, you know, fund a comic book. But the graphic novel almost happened. It's still going to happen. We're still in touch with those guys, and we're just waiting for the right time. We think now will be after the album comes out, because right now people are already like, well, I gave you guys money for the album, and now you want more money for a comic, and I still haven't gotten that album.
Right.
So yeah,
Yeah. It
but movie would be really cool. We've talked to like a couple independent like B horror filmmakers who have been interested. We're always trying to cross over into like those different worlds.
Well, I mean, like I said, I love what I've seen so far in the videos. I definitely could see you guys doing something fucking crazy movie wise for sure.
Thank you.
I mean, you got the
Yeah, we hope so. It'd be so great. We'd love to make our own movie even, but we don't have any kind of studio budget.
well, I
Wish we
mean,
did though.
you got to connect now. You know, I mean, working with Tom, he did the mask. You might be able to point you guys.
Yeah, maybe I'll have to have Joey. He did Joey's mask for this cycle. Tell Joey to him up and fly us off to Hollywood. You know.
Now, going forward, man, I mean, not knowing exactly when touring starts like that, I mean, are you guys at least trying to figure out future dates? I mean, everyone's saying maybe the end of summer, fall, next year. I mean, what do you do in your situation? Do you try and book something?
We're trying, but right now we don't have a solidified booking agent at the moment. We do have a great manager though, Denny. Um, and he's been in talks with a couple booking agents. But honestly, what's happening right now with touring is anything that got postponed, like anything that was already set in stone and canceled, is going to be the first tours that happen.
Right.
It's like all these huge tours got canceled when COVID started, and now they're finally like, okay, it'll be done at the end of summer or end of the year. But realistically, it's not, like, in my personal opinion, early 2022 is looking like the time when any non-major label act will be able to start touring, or if they didn't already have a tour set in the books.
Well, you know, you see, it's funny that you mentioned that. Like one of the bigger amphitheaters in my area just listed some huge shows, and it's like, there's no fucking way these shows are going to happen the way that they're saying. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
absolutely.
I don't know. I think it's, you know, it's shit on the fact that a lot of these bands haven't gave the money back for the tickets from
Yeah,
last year yet. You know what I mean?
exactly. I was actually very surprised by Ticketmaster allowing refunds on like everything, which I thought was pretty cool. Because I would not expect Ticketmaster to refund anything.
I mean, luckily for me, I got some of it back. You know, they're still holding on. I mean, I got tickets for Guns N' Roses this summer in Toronto. That's like a
Yeah,
50,000. It ain't fucking happening. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, no.
Let's not pretend. You guys had that shit for over a year.
Yeah, and it's hard to say like what venues, like a lot of venues by me have already closed their doors for good.
Oh yeah.
We have like any venue that we normally play that's, you know, like a couple hundred capacity, shut down because they just couldn't afford to stay open. I mean, they don't serve. It's not like they could stay open serving food. They're not restaurants. They're literally just bars and venues, and all that was shut down. You know, just hit a point where they just couldn't stay afloat anymore.
That's definitely going to be a scary situation when you start backing up. I mean, because you have
Yeah.
places that you probably played fucking a good amount of times, or the air.
Oh,
Now it's
all of them. Yeah.
everything's in the
It's
air. You
crazy.
don't know shit.
I'll see someone post something and I'll look, be like, well, like my friends from different states who have been on tour, and they're like, "Oh, RIP to this venue," and I'm like, "Oh, all these independent venues are not. Most of them aren't able to survive right now. It's terrible. The only ones that are managing to stay open for are like venues owned by Live Nation or the big like House of Blues stuff, like the chain kind of venues. Whereas the independent ones, like they're all on their own. If they can't have shows for you, like they're sunk."
Now, over the years, you've toured with some big bands. You've done some big things. I mean, do you keep those connections that you've done? Because I kind of think when touring starts, it's going to kind of be dog eat dog out there. Everyone's going to want.
Oh, it's gonna be insane. Everyone's gonna be like, everyone's gonna be biting you on every tour. Yeah, we always keep in touch with people we've toured with. That made so many good friends I still talk to, checking on during all this. But when it comes down to it, that's all like the booking agent or labels say. Like we have so many friends who would put us on tour with them in a second, but it's not their say. It's the guy above them. So, and right now, for everyone, it's going to come down to, well, who has the most money to go on the tour with band X,
Right, right.
because all these bands need money, their managers need money, the agents need money, because they're all in the same boat. Like anyone connected to music's in a terrible situation right now, unless they had some kind of backup to fall on during this.
See, I'm kind of afraid to see what tickets are going to look like, man. I mean, like venues are going to be at a different capacity.
Yeah,
Lots of bands are going to be willing to take less money. That means fucking ticket prices are going to go up for sure.
yeah, I'm sure it's gonna be crazy. I wouldn't expect you paying less than like $100 to see like anyone. The
Mhm.
whole like $10, $5 at the door thing, I don't think we'll be seeing much of that in the
I,
beginning.
I can't see that happening either.
Nah, which sucks because we always love playing like shows or like the promoter be like, "Hey, I'll give you guys X amount of money. I'll make it free at the door." Like that'll never happen for years after this.
Oh no, it's going to be fucked. I mean, everything's going to
Oh
be.
yeah,
It's going to be a new like learning experience. I mean, it's basically starting from scratch once it starts back up.
yep, it's gonna be crazy. But I mean, we got high hopes. Like hopefully, like Texas opening up doesn't like shut everything back down. Because I love Texas, but we'll
Now,
see
one
what
thing I think
happens.
that you guys do is you guys put out a shitload of merch, man. I mean, you guys got something new coming out all the time, right?
Yeah, that's helped us a lot, but it's like like we feel like we've been putting out too much, and we feel bad, like it's like we'll put out a shirt for each single, and it's like we don't want to just take everyone's money nonstop. But I think as long as we provide something cool for that, then it's all right. But it's been a lot lately, and we're gonna slow down for a little bit and try to work on getting this album out. But unfortunately, to get the album out, we need money, so yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's definitely got to be a different thing to figure out. But I mean, one thing fans got to understand: if they support you, they enjoy the music and shit. Now's the time where they gotta stop up,
Oh,
buy
absolutely.
buy
And
whatever the fuck you got. You know what I mean?
yeah, our core group of fans has been so awesome during all this. And everyone who donated the GoFundMe for the album has been so understanding when we just told them it's on delay right now until we can figure out a time to put it out. Like we're a band who's the size where we can't just drop an album and it'll be successful. We have to tour with that album and be a support act for someone bigger than us. Like we can't just put out an album and expect it to do well and it'll just fall by the wayside and get lost.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's one thing too. It's just like you can't sit down for so long. Like we said earlier, you guys already got new songs that you guys are thinking about doing. I mean, you're gonna have another album out before you fucking drop the one that you finished.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's a really hard decision to make, and we're trying to like watch what other people are doing and kind of follow suit a bit, but everyone's doing something different right now. It's crazy. Like, I guess nostalgia bands kind of just like re-recording old songs and putting them out, and you got like the bigger bands like let's say like A Day to Remember who just dropped their album and they're big enough where they can just put out an album and it'll do well because they're massive. You know, they toured Blink 182 and stuff, but we're not at that level where you can just put it out and be like, this is going to do great because it won't.
You know, I mean, you guys got fucked over every which way. You had to sit back a year and drop out your album. You're having your
Yep.
5-year anniversary now. I mean, what the fuck are you gonna do? Tour for your 6th-year anniversary? You know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we got hit with this literally at the worst possible time because it was literally, I think, 2 weeks after we got home. The album wasn't even fully mixed by the time we are in full lockdown. Then we got it, like, as soon as lockdown started, we got the full mixed album back. And we're like, well, we can't put it out right now. We'll wait the few weeks until this is over, start working on putting it out then. But then there was no 2 weeks. It's been a year now.
I mean, the only plus side I could see is that at least you got to hold off. I mean, for those bands that got that shit put out, like, you know.
Oh, yeah. I feel so bad. Like, some bands I know dropped their albums like the 2 days before this happened, and they were set to start their release tours, and just no luck, you know.
Yeah, man, those songs are gone and forgotten by now, you know. By the time touring starts back
Yeah.
up, it's gonna be like, what is this shit? I never
Exactly. The coolest thing though is like some of those bands who kept putting music out. It's like there's such a drought of music right now that people will take like anything. They're like, I've never heard of this band, but I'll take it because I haven't heard a new song in like 3 months.
Well, you know, that's the thing though. I mean, right now music is the only new thing that keeps on coming out. I mean, you don't see new movies, TV shows,
Yeah,
hardly see new shit with that. You know, there's
I
nothing.
think
You know?
those businesses might be more screwed than music is. Like Hollywood, like there's no movie theaters to put their big blockbusters out in right now, but they're starting to adapt. I see them like releasing like Marvel's releasing movies straight to HBO Max and stuff like that, which is insane. But everyone's got to adapt, and I think it's probably ruining the movie business quite a bit right now.
Oh, for sure. I mean, you know, but like you said, at least they got the outlet to do that. But I mean, there's
Yeah,
never going to be an outlet for live music to do something like that. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I see
I've seen
bands do that.
plenty of
I see them do the
live
streams and
videos.
shit. The streams suck.
Yeah, I've seen a couple ones I really like, but a lot of them are just not good. And we've dwelled about doing one, but in the end, we're like, well, this would just be about us making money. You put the album out, and it's like we don't want to do that. You know, we're a band that has when you experience this live, you like actually have to be there. I think otherwise, it's very easy for something like this to look cheesy in a live stream. It's like you think you're gonna watch Kissing Candice, and you end up feeling like you're watching the Chuck E. Cheese band. You know?
Right, right. Well, I mean, it's definitely got to be hard too. I mean, you don't got the crowd to vibe off of. You're not feeling anything.
Yeah, exactly. And we always vibe off the crowd. Like our energy is done by the crowd. If there's just like two guys with cameras spinning around us and we're playing a live set, I mean, it's one thing for a music video because we're in that mindset. But if we're like playing a full set with actual like amps and stuff, it's like, well, there's no one here. There's just these two guys with cameras. And we can tell you, like, if we play a show back in the day with two people at it, it's not going to be as awesome as one with 100 people at it the next night
Right,
going
right,
crazy and stuff. You know, you got to feed off that energy.
for sure.
If there's just two guys flipping us off in the front row, it's like, oh, all right, I'm not for
You just turn into a robot. So I don't know if you can hear me or not, man, but you're a robot.
Okay, I'm back now.
Yeah, you're back now. Well, your voice is anyway.
Still nothing?
Your voice is there. You're still, your body's still frozen.
I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Hold on one second. Trying to get some work. I got this here, dude. Very strange.
Can you
Let's see. Still?
Yeah, I mean, can you hear me?
Nothing.
All right.
One second. Let me see if I can find any Wi-Fi over here. I can hear you.
You can hear me now or no?
Yeah.
All right, cool, man. All right, you're back.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. You revealed the world, your face there for a second.
Back here. Awesome. Sorry about that, man.
No, you're totally cool, man.
All right. That's the story.
All right, so for those that want to follow up, they want to know more about the band, they want to hear the music, they want to buy some merch, where do they go? What do they do?
Facebook.com/Kissing Candice. KissingCandice.com has a store on it. That's we run that store on our own. That's all of our leftover like stuff from tour. Then we have kissingcandice.bandcamp.com for all like new pre-order stuff and whatnot. Then we're on Instagram and Twitter, both at kissing_Candice. And all of this is linked to from kissingcandice.com.
Awesome, man. Like I said, I love that new track. The fucking video. I'm gonna go watch again as soon as I get out with you. I like
yeah.
And I can't wait to hopefully catch up with you guys live at a show, hopefully within the next year or two.
Hopefully, man. Thank you so much.
All right, buddy. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, man.
Take care of yourself.
You too.